Yes, I'm here, Mark. Well, I had a concern, not necessarily marketing for any financial reason. I wonder, as an American citizen, if I start to use this in home at my home, if there will be some regulations that I need to be aware of, as we all here are rather clients of electric companies being companies. So I wonder myself, okay, when we start to use this technology and how is that one going to be? And I also had the question about the logistics of ordering these kind of units into the United States.
There are no restrictions when you carry the US standard certificate and European certificate. Generators are sold and gas units are sold naturally. This is a combination. And as long as the systems comply with the regulations, there is nothing to stop it to be entered. And at the moment, the European, what they call, governments are dying for such a system. But we need a couple of more months before we put everything in the right way of putting it. That's why I said after January delivery. We tried to do it before, but generally speaking, in Europe, there is a massive demand for it because now, I don't know if you're aware of it, the Russians have had a good go at Germany, 80% cut in supply up to now. We have a threat over the largest nuclear power plant, which was supplying partially into Western Europe. Now all the lines gone down. Americans and the Europeans were hoping by debt relief on Venezuela, they get some gases in from Venezuela to replace the Russian side. Venezuela bottled that up this week. It's not going to be any. The only short-term, long-term solution is the supply with Iran, and that is at the moment hot on the plate with the negotiations. So we expect massive problems in Europe. We're targeting the European market at the moment more than anything else. We have people who are ordering 2 and 3 units at the moment. We've seen the orders coming through. And we try to see how we can. We need the support of a government to go into huge mass production. It takes about 3 to 5 years to make any dent in the market. It's not going to be tomorrow morning just because we have it. Even if everything goes to the perfect, no hiccups to produce millions in a way to meet the demand just to Europe, it takes 3 to 5 years. Is not, we have reached understanding one of the largest nations in the world, just waiting for the what do you call it, the documents to be signed sometime next few days. And overall technology on the gas will go to one of the top 3 nations in the world. And the president of the nation has taken the decision on this. Not last Saturday, not yesterday, Saturday before. They supplied us with the documents to sign for the government. So governments have taken it seriously, those who care. We're waiting for the Western Europe nations to see how they actually reacting to this. But we can't announce it unless the governments announce it. But regulationally, should be no problem. We cannot produce more than maybe 10,000 a month at the moment. Once we go into full production, maximum 10,000. And this doesn't supply, doesn't meet demand, not enough. It has to become a national structure. And our knowledge seekers who just send us orders, we placed an order by rules of the Keshe Foundation, if the order is not paid within 3 days, it's automatically cancelled. So people are trying to be very, what they call it, knowledge seekers, clever, and placing orders. And we informing all of them, if it's not paid within 3 days, your order is no order. Because they had to do that, many knowledge seekers have placed orders, and they just think, oh, I made an order. It doesn't work. With this one, it's very targeted. We can't do more than maximum 10,000 for time being a month if we do it. It's not there. The generators, the gas generators to link up to are not there. The gas generators are not popular things. Diesels and petrols are very popular because people can buy fuel. So there is a structure has to be sorted out by government. We'll reach maybe 10,000 a month supply, and that doesn't make a dent into anything. 100,000 is nothing in the population of 375 million in Europe. It's the same situation with what we announced with the travels to Moon and Mars. Knowledge seekers just making a booking. The booking doesn't work. We have to do checking, we have to do a lot of things for it. Now it's on the stores, it's been put in since yesterday. And we'll see how it goes. The generators people can change. And we start working.
Who do we talk to about changing something?
What do you mean?
I had that order of 25 of the small units,
Yes.
and I haven't seen it posted yet in the store, and I don't know what's happening.
Your order is getting completed by mid-September. I've just looked at the plug collaborations, everything, because your order comes from Tehran.
And would it still be the small unit, or would it be the bigger one?
What you paid for is a small unit. If you want to change it to a generator, is the price is there.
Okay, so how would I change it?
Talk to me the way you done before. We can sort out, because you're getting a special rate for it. We can always sort out. But this is the gas and electricity, and you don't need to ever buy or either way look for a supply. It's send me a message what you want to do, and we always find a solution. But your order is complete in Tehran. Your 25 units.
How many kilowatts is that small one?
The small one you bought is not a generator, it's an enhancement unit. It's saving you energy. The generator produces gas and electricity both.
And okay. And there was later on going to be some addition to that small.
We were going to put it with a 2 kilowatts generator replacement, but now this over surpasses everything, because now that one is an enhancement generator, which we showed. This is an evolution, the next step up into production of the gas, which runs a gas generator, and replacing a 10 kilowatt gas generator in the system. So a 10 kilowatt is fairly good enough for any household, plus the supply of gas. If you use electricity and gas combination in the house, this is perfect. You can feed the gas into what I call like central heating gas burners, or into the cooking, or gas heating, and the electricity supply comes next to it. It's the first time ever been marketed such a thing.
And what is specifically is that one called?
It's called combined system gas, the elect gas combined system. It's just been put in the store yesterday. And that's what that first 100 unit was put for 10,000 euro. And after that, it goes to 15,000. We always give the knowledge seekers a step up level first. And the knowledge seekers always respond to it. And after the first 100 euro, automatically we inform the 100 is full, or some knowledge seekers get a special, what do you call it, discounts or whatever, connections with the foundation.
Yeah,
But
and
after
then
that, to 15,000.
I need to be in contact with you still for the original project we had thought about of covering a larger area.
Yes, that's a different one. That's a plasma unit. This is a gas power generation. They're two different things.
Yeah, my question then would be, but maybe we'll talk just.
Send me a message private, we'll talk with you, no problem.
Okay.
We have you, and we have two other, what do you call it, knowledge seekers who have large number of properties in US and in other positions, and they want to bring the system in. Well, everything can be done.
Okay, thank you.
Send me a message, tell me what you want to do, and then we can always sort it out. What your units, I was talking to Tehran this morning, your 50 units in Iran are ready to be shipped by mid-September. They're already done, everything is sorted. The units have been built. It's just that they have to do some work with it. We just received the insurance cover on Tuesday. So this allows us to get the insurance certificate export for it.
And those are they 2 kilowatt or are they less?
No, they're just a standard enhancement units you bought.
Okay.
You saved 50 to 60, 70%, what do you call it, on your bills.
Okay.
If you want a generator, generators are different. Generators are totally different. In a way, it doesn't matter to the price of the fuel if you even run a, what do you call, hybrid car. You connect gas and supplying your own gas to the tank. You always run your engine on the third option. Hybrid, you use a fuel and then you produce electric power, and then whenever it runs out, you go back to the fuel. But when you go back to the fuel, you connect to a gas cylinder instead of fuel tank as a diesel or a, what do you call it, petrol or whatever. So you literally run your life free of any dependence on energy in any shape or form.
I thought the enhancement unit would later be upgraded to becoming a generator.
We've done that for the first series. I don't think yours is part of it. And that was a 2 kilowatt generator. The, what you call the new combined gas generator is a new range of products which we put out. It is nothing to do with the last series, and we put a sign up that on the contract is from certain dates. Before that date, it'll be changed to 2 kilowatt generator when it's marketed, or stays, what do you call it, as it was. Because a lot of people bought the enhancement unit after wanting to change it, it will not happen. But the gas generators, this is a new, what do you call it, a new development. What we've done is literally using the gas production we use, and we are buying in gas generators and connecting the gas to the generator. But as it's on the website, if you look at it, if you have a 300 watt usage that triggers the gas production, you can have the gas all the time. As long as you have a light bulb of 2 or 3 light bulbs using 300 watts electricity from the generator. Doesn't matter if you go to 7, 8 during the day or sometime during the runner, what you call it, air condition or whatever. But 300 watt constant use allows the gas production to continuously produce for the gas consumption. It's on the website. We put it on in a very straightforward way. But at the moment, it's the biggest target in Europe. European factories are going to shut down because there's going to be a shortage of supply this year.
Right. So I'm still not clear. I thought I ordered mine before the deadline, and I paid for mine before the deadline.
Yeah, I'll check it. I'll talk to you on the line. But that's
Okay.
a 2 kilowatt is unenhanced. Whatever we committed ourselves, we keep to it. But you specifically bought the enhancement unit,
Yeah.
and that was on the basis of enhancement units to be done. And your supply, your units are already produced in Iran. I've seen even the boxes were shown to me today, how the packaging.
All right.
Okay. But they just gone through the I think by mid-September or sometime around in mid-end September, it should be shipped out of Iran.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. You got to look at it. If you use, let's say, $50 of fuel a week, and you spend $20 to $30 a week on electricity, it's about, let's say, $50, $100 a month you use or whatever, or per week, and then you multiply it and you see how it changes things. On average in Europe, 100 to 150 euro per week spends on gas, fuel and electricity by family. Combined, all energy needs. This answers to that call.
Another question. Can you, if you use 2 of those smaller ones, would that enhance the, or increase the amount that you would be able to supply?
What do you mean?
If you have the 300 watt and you use, that's wouldn't really supply all of what we need, or not even close. Can you
No,
put 2
no.
units on 1 meter?
Yes, you got to put them in parallel or series together. Depends what power you use.
Mhm.
Depends on your demand. If you have an electrician, they know how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, depends which load is more. But there will be more developments in the coming weeks with the Keshe Foundation. We are going into a very rapid development phase. I foresee maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year time, wireless energy transmission will be on the card. And that'll be the way you receive your telephone calls, you can receive more wireless energies. And this was in the patents, now we've developed it. Means you don't need any more wiring in the house. Your fridge works with a maglev system or a power generator, in like a telephone. And this saves a lot of energy.
Yeah, just for me, we had a one-time amount of money available, which will not be available again later. That's my concern.
No, what we committed to you, we deliver. It's already gone through.
Yeah. What I mean is I can't repeat my purchases like this whenever there's a new development.
I know, but every technology has that evolution. We
Mhm.
cannot stop.
Okay.
We can't stop. It's the wireless energy is the ultimate, will be one of the ultimate levels of the technology development. And we originally put it in a patent. If you go and read it, the original patent is in it. Now the technology has reached the point where we are using this wireless energy communication in the enhancement units in the center in Linz. So it's not something that's going to be developed, it's already used in the systems which are getting tested. So once we complete, we then we put it in for marketing and commercialization. Energy transfer, remote, wireless is part of the what we call transmutation test and test for transportation to Moon and Mars, and it's already developed.
Mr. Keshe, when you're creating the plasma CH4 gas, and the byproduct is CO2 and water, is that CO2 plasmatic? Can it be inhaled, or is it?
Yes, it is a plasmatic because you're working in a plasma conditions. CO2, before it comes out of your lung, is in a plasmatic condition.
So
when
if
you
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
when you release it, and once comes out of your mouth with the environment, changes to CO2 as you see it.
So I have a vent-free small stove, a gas stove, which I'm using natural gas on, which it doesn't vent into a pipe or anything. It burns 99 whatever 0.9 clean. I'm thinking I could have the CH4 burnt in that system, and then the natural convection would bring it all around the house and out the doors and the windows and so on and so forth. Is this the correct way of looking at it?
In a way, it's like every other gas fire you have. The only thing is, when we take it out to become for consumption, by regulations, we have to add orders and other things to it that there is a gas coming in.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, it doesn't make much difference. But if you can use it the right way, you can produce huge one. What? You can feed your CO2 back into the system.
Okay, so if I have a CO2 or a monoxide detector or CO2 detector, would that still trigger even though it's a plasmatic gas? We saw that in your demo.
It converts in the matter state, yes. If it converts to matter state, you will. Otherwise, if it's as a CO2, it's an energy pack. You use it in your GANS tools. Does your CO2 detector goes off when you're producing gases and using the water for water? No. Because it's an energy transfer. I would like to see how people in your area eat. If the food chain changes, if the trees, when you're burying it, they change. Would the seasons change? Would you see more birds around you? Because we see it. Wherever we use CO2 in these ways, we see changes. Nowadays, you make CO2 and you go and pour it in the rivers and brooks and whatever. You spray it on the city. Now you're literally smoking it out into the public.
Yeah, I like that. I know Jalal was saying, I was thinking earlier, he had some company and they didn't want the plasma water, but they had seen it work before. So I was thinking with the gas, it's almost like a laughing gas. It's not obviously a laughing gas, but as people breathe it, as you said, we don't force anyone to accept the technology, but we create systems that forces them to accept the technology. So if someone visited Jalal that really didn't want any GANS water or anything like that, and they're just breathing the atmosphere in his home, they would become more connected or curious about the technology.
We can't think about everything possibly.
Okay.
We have to see how things take shape and how things develop with this process. Now we are in the phase of development and commercialization in an industrial level. We have started, as you all know, situation in Ukraine is crucial, critical, and Russians are literally doing everything possible to stop the energy supply. And there's a huge concern regarding the nuclear reactors in this site. And our target at the moment partially is how we will respond, how can Keshe Foundation respond if by accident it has happened, one of the buildings of this power station has been hit already. What happens if it hits a reactor? What are we going to do? And we start negotiation with IAEA on this level to see what it is and how it isn't, because we are just about 20 minutes, half an hour away if he gets airborne where we are in Austria. We're not very far. Between 2 or 3 countries between us, is the wind blows very fast.
Yes, I was understanding that the barrels are full and they're encased in concrete and they're stored outside the spent material, let's say. Even though the reactor building itself is made to withstand some heavy hits, it's this storage area. It's in an open air, encased in concrete, and this was the bigger concern, as I understand it.
There's a lot of concern with this power station. It's the largest in Europe. It carries 6 nuclear reactors and they're all old, they're not new. And it supplies into Western Europe as well. Used to, but now they're curtailing, they're cutting it up. The Russians just bombing the transmission lines and the what do you call it, substations and everything. And if they don't get it their way, this is to the farm, goes into the Western Europe, they will bomb this plant, 100% sure. We'll have a bigger disaster than Chernobyl. You just need one rocket go rogue.
I see your microphone moving up and down, Mr. Keshe, but I'm not hearing your voice.
Wait.
He may be adjusting something in the background. I see someone new, Samsung SMG781B. Are you a new knowledge seeker or have you been here before? Can you tell us your name and where you're from while we're just waiting for Mr. Keshe? If you can hear me. Miss Samsung, we see your beautiful picture. We'd like to hear your voice. Okay. She may be away from, or they may be away from their microphone.
Mr. Cash, these people, they do not see what is coming from all what they are doing, from all these disasters and encouraging this war in all shapes and form.
Not really, because it's you got to realize the name of the game is power, not financial gain. These people not really bothered with what is, who gets hurt, how many families will go through the hardship or whatever. It's just playing the game of power. And the world leaders always do these things. They can't eat anymore, they can't have anymore, they have whatever they want to eat or whatever. Now is I can do what I want to do.
But now they are reaching this nuclear reactors, and it is not a game.
They
When
don't care. They absolutely don't care. None of these people ever cared. And the scale of this work is huge. You got to realize who's making money out of this. If you go on the what we call the chart of the spending on military, if you put the top 10 nations together, one, which is America, spends about 800 trillion, and then sorry, 800 billion. And then the Chinese, which are the second in line, is 200 or 300. You put the rest of the other 10 below it, Russia only spends 65 billion on military warfare on the army. Not less than 10% of what America does. And it's just power play. Who's got a nuclear button and who can press. Now you don't need to press a nuclear button, just press a bomb and it becomes a nuclear when you blow a power station up. China spends nearly a third of what America does on the military. And China has what? 4 times population of America, nearly 3.5. Every bullet, more or less, used in Ukraine, Ukrainian children and the grandchildren will pay for it for years to come. Americans have never given anything free to no one. We give you 1 billion arms, but you pay it plus interest for next 2 or 3 generations. And this is what people don't see.
But it's not only the Ukrainian who is paying. Nearly all of us, all the citizens of this world, paying for this.
It's come to change. It changes, as said before. The minute we show the first transmutation, the minute we show other means, then the game will change. You got to realize it has to be a change of technology and science, which makes the others obsolete, so you can have as much as you like. This is why we tell you, get yourself to Linz and go through the, what we call, the moon landing and what you call the test for transmutation, which starts in the second week of September.
From my side, Mr. Keshe, I am preparing my suitcase.
But you have to register. We're getting filled up with what we are looking for. Especially the moon landing and the Mars won't take us. We already been told people from NASA are ready to register. Chinese want to send delegation to go. The Russians have already shown interest. There's a lot of work going on in the background, but we need to be very, very careful what we do and the way we do.
Mr. Keshe, when you referred to a colony on the moon, maybe by the end of 23 or beginning of 24, what sort of colony would take shape there? I know doesn't like that word colony in a way, but would it be
The
in
thing
the
is,
dome?
no, you live as you will be in the atmosphere of the moon. Do you wear diving suits if you go to Sahara Desert? Doesn't fit. We are not giving you a backpack, air boxes and a monkey suit to go to the moon. You have to change to what you come. Go back to one of the reasons we stopped sharing the testimonials on the flight was because a lot of people could not understand. Some people understood what's going on, and it was becoming very hot for us. In one of the testimonials, you have a German woman, I think, if I'm correct, talks about half being mermaid and half man or human.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself a question. Was that real?
I think you said at that point she wasn't ready to totally give up her physicality.
But go back to one of the first ones who went and started collecting stones for us. He told us his body looked different every time he came to go out and drop the stone back in. When his body condition went beyond his plasma, he changed to fit the environment. He don't listen exactly what it means, just listen, the thing is the story. That's why I said, remember I said the other teacher, we tell you when you come out, we don't laugh, we listen, because we are looking for things exactly how you react, how you are, and you're looking, oh, if the guy saw the grandfather or the grandmother. We are looking for certain information which allows us to complete our system. And we've proven it. We have two different systems, one on the left, one on the right. Exactly, except one minor connections in certain position. We can let you dream physically, or we can put in what we call it plasma and move you. You look for a story, we look for capabilities. No, you when you go, you do you want to do a starter, let's say an engine. You go through the checklist. Yes, tick, tick, tick. That's what we do. We checklist. We have achieved what we think here for. Yes. We achieved this. Yes. Listen to what people told you. Listen to the testimonials of the people in the first 2 or 3 weeks when they were going from seat 1, 2, and 3. They're telling you they go from the physical conditioning to up to body level, before the legs. They could see it, and then when you go to the third one, they see the full balloon. And then you go to the machine, and then when they come back, when they get to the first chair again, they feel the weight of gravity on them. They gave us a lot of information. And that's why we could eliminate chair 1, 2, 3. And now we can move, we try. Doesn't mean that we're going to be 100% successful, but it gives us a chance to be, well, we will be successful. Because we are testing other things. And then when I came to Rick's session, that gave us the opportunity to look at the bigger combination. If sometime in the near future we go to Rick classes and people are there and we bring you all together to Lens, it will be amazing.
Is there anyone else who would like to raise an issue, a question with Mr.
Yes,
Keshe?
me, Mark. Hello. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Claudia, yes.
I'd like to know if the presentation will be shown for everybody to change the.
Now, we will not show anything. We were not disclosing anything of the space level technology. Nothing will be shared except what you hear from the people who have been through it.
Why?
It's the way the Keshe Foundation works.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Keshe, um, I have a question. If it is like the suppose the environment is wrong, and then
We can't hear you, Selena. Can you come a little closer and speak into the microphone?
I don't have a better microphone. I will find one. I will come back. Okay, a little bit later.
Yes, no problem.
Okay, can I make a question?
Anyone? Yes.
Yeah, so Mr. Keshe, this is Danilo from Brazil. My question is, when you have a situation like a transmutation or maybe a soul flying, it seems like that your mind, your thoughts need to be stopped in order for you to be have success. It seems like that your mind cannot deal with this kind of situation. It's not reasonable. Can you, is it correct? Can you say something about this? Thank you. Can you hear me, Mark?
I hear you. We're just waiting for Mr. Keshe to come
okay.
in.
Okay, thank you.
Can you repeat? I don't understand.
Yeah, my question is, it seems like that our mind cannot deal with some kind of situations like soul traveling and transmutation. Um, it's correct to say that you have to stop your mind, your thoughts, in order to have success, to make the transmutation or the soul traveling. It seems like that your mind cannot deal with this kind of information or reality. Thank you. I don't know if you understand me.
It is depends on person and people and conditions. Some people can't handle it. This is why, for example, I was explaining business knowledge seekers that we say the transmutation to the moon will be for 3 days. Now you come to us for 1 day and for 1 hour or half an hour, because we have to prepare everything for you to be able to have a successful trip. So it's mainly in how we manage, or you manage to go through the process of what we call evaluation, a process of change. And this is why when we say, for example, the moon on Mars is so much per person, is, if you look at it, because we have costed how much it costs us to run the process, which we put as so much, and you're taking 3 days of operation. It's not that the Keshe Foundation now, because going to the moon does or ask for more. If you look at it, you have 3 days to go back on the Mars landing or moon landing, what we're asking for. If you look at it, is even if you put 8-hour session for 3 days, is 24 hours. So in a way, nothing has changed for you. And you go to what you call United States, go to NASA or Russians and ask them to take you to the moon. And see how much it costs them to take you there. 2 years of, just 1 second. Then you see how much it costs. You cost around about each, if you put everything around 5 years plan to take people, you cost you about $500 million to get you up there, and they charge you how much, 200 million, how 500,000, whatever they charge. What does Richard Branson charge you for a few seconds just to feel the weightlessness? How much you pay to go to the moon? Now the private ones, 25 million. You got to understand, it's a lot involved. People, I heard somebody runs Mr Keshe, suddenly you're charging, yes. You go and do what we're trying to do. Everybody else will charge you millions.
I got my microphone, but I forgot my question.
I was just gonna say, your voice is nice and clear and strong.
It's okay. I can ask a lot of questions. If we, Mr. Keshe, if we go to the another planet, our body doesn't go there, but our soul goes there, right? Our emotion goes there. There is another dimension. So we are worried about our body in this place, in Earth, what happened to our body and then our physicality, our life. If we go to another place, so our body doesn't go there. So what happened this body, in this body, in here? Are we die?
I think you haven't understood the process.
I didn't?
You have not understood the process of the transmutation, the new technology. Your physicality engages your soul, and you get on the plane and you pay. Do you die when you go from US to India? Does your soul die? Now the soul carries the physicality. Does your physicality die? How come the other way didn't die? You didn't go this way, you die. It means you have not understood the technology yet fully.
Not fully. I went different places, but I didn't stay there. I saw myself different places, but here I am right now. But I saw. So what happened? There is somebody else in there still? I think sometime. What is happening? I'm confused.
Go and enhance when you travel and then you get confused to see if you actually live the life. Physically there.
Sometimes I didn't see my body. Just I saw the places and sometimes saw my body.
You're dreaming. What you're doing, you are changing your dream, travel of your soul to dimension of physicality. If you don't exist anymore, you're not here on Earth anymore, and you exist only on the moon, so you're on the moon. Do you exist in America if you go to India? Are you still in US?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're in India. But can your husband come home and says, "Darling, can you cook me dinner tonight?" No, I'm in India. I can't cook for you in what do you call it in US. You understand? So now
Yeah.
the trouble in stuff you go in there with your physical, but all the time when you travel from US to India, your soul was with you because you engage it. It's in your brain. Now you travel vice versa. Now the physicality is engaged by the energy of the soul. So where the soul goes, soul decides if you can. But there, if you decide to manifest yourself, you are physically there. You're not back in US. It's the same as you're going to India. That one takes you 24 hours, 18 hours travel. This is instantaneous. You travel, you arrive. This is what we strive to achieve in the next 2 or 3 months. This is the beauty of it. And then in 2023, we strive to land you on the moon, and then you decide. You want to stay there as a soul, which we already know people have been there, so we send the soul, we know it's been there, or we give you a chance to transfer the physicality with it, to take the soul with you. Then you decide. I promise you one thing, you won't have 2 legs on the moon.
But in dream, I saw I was in the moon and I have a house that
So
is
what is what? When you're there, did anybody see you back in US?
yes.
You were on both positions. You were living on the moon and you were living on Earth.
Yeah, I have a house there.
Yes, but no, what I'm talking about. When you're on the moon, did in US, if anybody saw you, you're still in US.
Yes.
And they saw, what about on the moon? Did people see you on the moon?
Mm,
Self on the moon?
maybe moon people see me, not in here.
Pardon?
Maybe moon's living people saw me in there. Maybe.
So you have so you have achieved the position without the system. If maybe, you see, if you feel you've been there, it's different than reality being there. You understand? And this is
Yes.
why we said we need 2 people to go together. What you feel doesn't count. What you're seen by another accounts, which that's what we're trying to do. And we tested this in our system. We have sent couples together to Paris, we sent couples to somewhere together, and they see the same thing together. So the technology is ready for that phase of transportation.
But still people won't believe because people is not that that awake yet.
Yes, you are not the only one if you can do it, but there are many people who can do it, but it's individuals. Now, this is the difference when people, they tell you you're a lunatic, nobody's been there, they don't believe you, yes? Because you say what you like to say, you understand?
Yeah.
But now, this is a technology everybody can do. You understand? There's a
Yes.
difference between individual and a technology. The knowledge is exchanged, is changed into a technology, means can be done and can repeatedly be done. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
And is, oh, I've been there, I've been to the moon, I have 20 houses in the moon. I tell you something, no one on the moon has a house.
It doesn't look like this house.
Yeah,
It's gray color, no window, no door.
yeah.
Yeah.
No one on the moon has a house because you create a field. If you advance enough to go, you know you don't need bricks or whatever. You understand? So, I don't tell you you lie or whatever. You're an individual, you can do. You've seen a lot of people, you go and says, I'm a healer, huh? I can heal you by touching you, I can heal you by looking at you, yes? Now make me a
Yes.
system that looks at me or touches me, heals me. You understand? And we always said, we are not the only people. The only people have been doing that for years. Now we transferred that knowledge into a technology. You understand?
Yes. Can you
So
tell us right now? Sorry about that.
yeah, this is the evolution in science, and they call you crazy, they call me a scientist. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So you keep on saying every time I spoke with you, I've been there, I've done this, I fly. However ridiculous you know, because you're an individual, and you're not the only one if you can do it. Yeah, but what you do, change it into a knowledge that everybody can do the same. And that's what the Keshe Foundation is. A knowledge for everyone to have the same capability, that nobody is different and nobody is crazy.
Yes. Can you tell us right now what is happening in the earth? The temperature goes very high everywhere. A lot of stuff happening.
Always
Actually,
has
what is going on?
a dynamic planet. Before we lived in the village, we only knew what happens in our village. Now we all live on the umbrella of satellites and everything, and we all see what you see today has happened for past billions of years. Nothing new. The fires, the earthquakes, the volcanic eruptions, the floods. Has it changed? No. It's just now sensationalized because people think, oh, it's very big. And that Dutch guy talked about the global warming. Now everybody's global warming. We use, some years ago, they did some calculation. They said if you get all the people on this planet standing next to each other just with their footprint, they will cover the Isle of Wight, which is a small island in England. And now, maybe a bigger island. What happens to all billions of hectares which are uncultivated or cultivated around the world? Where is the global warming? This is a dynamic planet. And it's always been like this. Now, just because we can see news and they can abuse the information, oh, we have this, global warming, this happened, always happened. Without it, we wouldn't be where we are today.
I don't believe the global warming, but I believe the earth changes different way.
Of course, it has to, it's dynamic.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it exists in a dynamic environment of the solar system, which itself is in dynamic environment of a galaxy and a universe. All of it affects us. All of it changes. We're going to get hotter, there is no doubt about it, from the fields of the galaxy. Forget about anything else. We are on the boundaries of the galaxy. And by law of physics, we're getting pulled into the center of the galaxy. So by billions of years fraction time, we are increasing in heat. It's obvious. We're receiving stronger fields from the galaxy, stronger fields from the, what they call lesser fields from the universe. Till we go on part of and we go back up. I don't believe in global warming, doesn't matter how they turn it. Energy conservation of this planet dictates the elements stay the same constantly. That is constant plus a factor of the fields which receive from constant from the sun and the environment of this solar system. Nothing has changed. Nothing will change. We're getting with, you see, global warming is because we're getting, yes, there'll be less snow, there'll be less thing, because yes, we dropped one level closer to the sun. You speak to me about global warming, I laugh my head off. You speak about cosmology and astronomy, understanding Earth is at the string, where the string is getting pulled you forward to the center. The center is a big, huge sun, which hits you more the closer you get. So what happened to Venus? What happened to Mars? What happened to others, which are closer? And look at the one coming behind us. We start seeing life. We start seeing certain ways of life. If that planet keeps to the same angle, would we see monolife? Or if it's got a twist and turn a little bit, would we see diversity like Earth? That's all it is. Global warming, yes, we're getting warmer, we have less snow, we have a lot of things melting, yes, because we're getting pulled to the center of the sun. That's normal. That is scientifically accepted. But global warming, conservation of energy does not go that way.
I can see the government are scared about something. All government. Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
Anyone else would like to come in?
Hey, Mark, I just want to take a chance to thank everybody for allowing me to present today. And I want to thank you, Mr. Keshe, again for a tremendous amount of body of knowledge that you are spreading to our environment here. So, and I thank you profusely. I'm going to sign off here, Mark, and allow other people to speak.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Mr. Keshe, you've at times said that the soul has a double PhD in this knowledge. And I was certainly impressed when you said, when you go to the moon, you don't have to learn how to live there. You connect to the knowledge. You already know what to absorb, what to eat, where to go, and so on. Who are we connecting to? A deeper connection with the soul, with the knowledge or the soul of the knowledge of the universe, with the creator? Is it all the same? But we don't have to learn it. You said you're already, you connect to this knowledge. You know what to do.
What do you mean? Can you explain?
Well, you said when you go to the moon or Mars, you don't have to learn how to live there. You connect with the knowledge and you already know what fields to absorb, what to eat, where to go, and how to live there. So it's not like we're going to go to a school and before we can actually, enter activity there, we have to learn all these things. You're connecting to a knowledge. Whose knowledge is that? The double PhD of
It's
the whole?
the knowledge of the creation. How come I was talking to and looking at what we call a baby. The baby, we don't talk to, we cannot do anything. We just nourish, just born. And the baby starts making certain moves. And every move the baby makes is historically, if you go on the internet, says, baby at this month will start making these moves. And the next following month makes these moves. And these moves lead him to crawl. These moves he makes him ready to walk 2 months later. Do any of us teach it? No. Does any of us went into the womb of the mother to teach? No. But the information, because it has happened repeatedly, has been and become part of the what we call genetic information. Now, go back to your soul. Your soul has genetic information too, but from the universe. That's the difference. He has learned how to communicate. He knows where to go to do. It's automatically within the system. How that we know at 6 months old, the child gets 2 teeth. And all of them do. Where did this information come from? Your soul doesn't have the physicality, but has the same access in genetic information of the universe. You denied it. It doesn't mean just because you put your head under the snow, everything doesn't exist, does it? It's the same. Up to now, you rely on your genetic DNA to decide when you might see, when you start talking, and every person talks the same way at that time, that age. Age of 12, 13, we all go through puberty. What happened? Who taught us? How come our body remember to do? How come we suddenly gather different intelligence? How will we become sexually active after that? What happened to us 12 years past? Where did this information come that all of us get it? So it's the same with the soul. When soul reaches to a point that it can connect and be active and live in the universal communities, when there's the physicality, it doesn't need it anymore. But till that time, has gone through the same process of teething and everything and understanding and gathering knowledge of the universe, which are already embedded in it. I made man in the image of myself. If man goes through the process of walking and he has to make certain move of the back, the leg, the thing, the child doesn't suddenly at the 6 months to start walking. Have you seen how many times he exercises the leg? How many times he exercises the arm? How many times he exercises the back? How many times he rolls and pulls the finger, the toe to the mouth to strengthen the back? And this is all genetically put in there to do it. None of us say, now you have to put your finger, your toe in your mouth that you can pull your back and then you can walk. And all the children do the same. So they have access to genetic information that now is common to all the knowledge for them to become a man or a woman or whatever. Now your soul is the same, but has access to the knowledge of the universe. You have to trigger it, and then you understand, you know everything. And the more higher order knowledge you can trigger, the closer you are to understand the creation and the create. You manage to understand how to make a pot, so you become a potter. And that's your limitation of closeness to understand. But if you go to the dimension of the soul and you can tap into the universal knowledge and be close or be part of the creator, you become whatever, universal messengers or whatever. Physical messengers, you got Muhammad and Christ. Universal messages, you get people like us with the knowledge of the universe. But it's part of understanding the totality of the, what we call, plasma fields of the universe, how they interacted, what each interaction creates, and the rest of it.
Well, I'm sure you're well aware that we're quite amateurs in this understanding. I mean, we're growing and we're enthusiastic about it, but yet we're still sort of like shoemakers in a way.
Oh, we all start from somewhere. We're not just dropped in. I explained this to somebody past recent. We had a knowledge seekers, you all know about it. I spoke about it in some teaching. A lady from Italy who came and she explained to me with her husband that she met the Christ and gave the detailed specification about how he looked, the color of the hair, the color of the eye, the height, the clothing, and the rest. And what did I say to her? Nothing. Because the description was 100% correct. How was it correct if I wasn't there and been there? So, no, because I asked her one question. How was he dressed? And she explained the dress, the clothing. And this is exactly always dressed. You rely on DNA, we rely on the, what we call, RNA of the universal knowledge. I have to go, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Skip me.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you very much indeed. Join us in this venture with enhancement of space travel to the moon. There's a reason for it, and we explain we need about 20 people to do. And it's the next phase we offer, it'll be sometime in back end of next year. We'll move to a destination outside solar system and outside this galaxy, because each needs a specific knowledge. And our team has to understand that, the understanding to be able to replicate. And if you're still entangling with the physicality, we try to do everything else from the plasma generator to combine plasma generator and everything else which is possible. Thank you very much.
Yes, Ying says thank you. Raquel says thank you. Diane says thank you. And so on
Thank
and
you.
so forth.
We are here to see what changes.
Thank you.
I hope we can stop this mayhem in Ukraine. But don't forget, Americans want to push as much as possible, because now they found a way to sell arms and to show what technology they have. They're using life of the others to sell, to show technology that then they can use it to sell more weapons. But that has come to an end. Thank you very much, and hopefully see you next week or this
Thank you.
week.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.